When you kind of point, you can just hit record and then it'll do like now. It's been recording. Hey, perfect. Already recording. Brilliant. Hello, crawlers, and welcome to Historic Pub Crawls, where today I'm going to be exploring one of the places you've asked me to come to the most, which is Belfast, for my next book, Historic Pub Crawls Through Ireland. Now, usually we follow one of my existing books, which you may already have. But this is going to be unusual today because I've not been here before. And so we are actually going to research for the book, and hopefully the 12 pubs that you have recommended I visit are all going to make the cut, and they'll all be in the next book. I've got Caden behind the camera today. Caden, have a look at this. This is our route we're going to share. We're actually here right now, so we've started off at the Foundry, who very kindly put us up for the night, making sure we're under no time pressure really, and we can spend a good long day before ending up here and having a nice meal and then collapsing in sheer exhaustion, which is bound to happen after 12 pints. We're going to leave here, we're going to head down to our very first pub. It is the Crown, which is supposed to be one of the most beautiful, and then we'll come back up through this way. We're actually up here to the Dirty Onion, the Harp, Duke of York, in the Cathedral Quarter, right here, but that will be sometime later today when these are open and they are busy. But for now, let's get cracking and head to our first pub.
This tourist trap is one of the most beautiful pubs in the world.
It's the Crown. It's pub number 1 on our Belfast route. Let's go and get a pint.
This Victorian era gem dates back to the 1820s when it was opened as the Railway Tavern. After being purchased by Patrick Flanahan in 1885, it was renovated and renamed, with the legend going that its mosaic entrance left patrons stomping their muddy feet over the Crown. Now these days it's owned by the National Trust, but leased to Nicholson's, and it's famous for its lavish decor, stained glass windows, carved woodwork and ornate tiling. But back to the bar, and I paid for a pint of landlord for sitting in one of the pub's famous 10 snugs that were built to accommodate the pub's more reserved customers during Victorian times. But we can't be stopping when we've got to crawl.
We've just left the Crown, which is the first pub. It was as gorgeous as everyone said that pub would be. We had a landlord, it was cracking, and we're going to carry on drinking that. We're outside the Grand Opera House now, after leaving the Crown. Now, this was opened in 1895. It's obviously super ornate, super fancy. Inside looks great. We're not going to go inside. We've got no time for that. We've got pubs to go to. And so we're going to head past the City Hall, where you'll hear from me next before we go on to pub number 2. Done. Because there's just so much to see here, right? We're right outside City Hall, which was completed in 1906. We can get some kind of impression for what it must look like inside because you can see all of the stained glass windows. It was built to reflect the growth of the city after Queen Victoria had designated it as a city in 1888. It is stunning. I don't know if we might be struggling to see it on here, but there's a big grand dome at the top, which is pretty fancy. And there are lots and lots of monuments throughout. We're not going to go through all of the people, but we will cover some of the details in the upcoming book. Over here, you've got the Titanic Memorial Garden. Now, if you fly like I did into Belfast City Airport, or George Best Airport, named after the iconic footballer, you actually, as you touch down, you see the 2 big cranes on which the Titanic was built. And of course, the Titanic, was a tragedy, right? In 1912, we've all seen the film where the boat struck an iceberg and over 1,500 people died. Like many of them, like very, very poor people who were all trying to find a new life in America. And there's a lot of history throughout Belfast where there are memorials, museums, the old dockyard that talk a little bit more about Titanic. We'll obviously go more into that in the book, and as respectful we are for how tragic that was. Where there's a bar, there's a beer, and we're going to head to pub number 2.
This Belfast alternative to an Irish coffee is sensational.
It's the Garrick. It's pub number 2 on our Belfast route. Let's go and get a pint.
First, we had to get there, past the impressive City Hall complex and the Titanic Memorial Garden, to this striking corner pub with its poignant message on the side. And when you step in to one of the city's oldest establishments, it's hard to believe that it used to be a builder's merchant before it was lovingly restored to the ornate pub that you see today. And whilst there's plenty of space to sit amongst the imposing columns or out the back in the restaurant, I sat down with the boss in the seats usually reserved for the trad bands that sit amongst you when they play. And although it's early in the route, boss persuaded me to go for the trifecta as one of the best Guinness around, the traditional Irish coffee, which is warm and made with whiskey, and finally a first, a Belfast coffee using cold brew and poutine with so much cream. Just look at it stick to that glass. That's not why we're here. We're here for beer. And so off it was, on to the next one.
So I'd like to mic you up. You can tell us a little bit about the pub. Brilliant. Okay, look at this. This looks pretty special. This is a bad sign, by the way. This is like pub number 2.
Like, what time?
Yeah,
1:30.
Yeah, pub number 2, 1:30. We're going pretty hard. Okay, so who have we got here?
Colm Oates from the Garrick Bar in Belfast.
So how long have you run the place?
I've been in the Garrick since 2006. My son works here now, my daughter works here also. So a bit of a family thing going on. So, and it's been the Garrick since 1870. Name has never changed. Before it was a pub, this was a builder's merchants, and where the back bar is now, that was the yard.
Really?
So yeah, so this was the old builder's merchant. So they were selling, from about 1830 they started selling liquor from under the counter, and by 1870 the liquor business had become bigger than the building business, and they made it into a bar with a dining room upstairs.
Wow. I struggled to kind of
So a lot of history, yeah.
Yeah, I struggled to kind of sit in here and think of this as being...
This was a builder's merchants originally, yeah.
Think of it
So that was the counter, and
But the bar's changed though.
yeah, the bar's changed,
Yeah,
yeah.
like everything's like it's
Yeah,
all,
what's
like,
original,
so much more,
the ceiling is original now, there's pillars and the windows. And the name has never changed since 1870, so that's a big thing. I think, it's a lot of history, and the name stayed the same.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm going to get stuck
Yeah,
into
get
this
stuck in
Irish
here.
coffee.
Yeah, these are unbelievable.
Yeah, like I said, this is like pub number 2. That is gorgeous. And look, we're in the prime seats as well because clear off if asked. Reserved
for
for
musicians.
So this is do you have?
Yeah, we have trad music 5 nights a week in here. So like a Wednesday, Thursday night, Friday tea time, Saturday night, and a Sunday evening. Okay. And it could be anywhere between 4 to 10 musicians taking this corner.
I love that. Like just sitting amongst
At Christmas, we've had like these like mad sessions with maybe 20 or 30 musicians all here, and it's just insane. It's fantastic. Like,
yeah, that was
it's really good. Yeah, it's really good. Do you want to do the Belfast coffee as well? You got these are the Belfast coffees are good.
Okay, go on.
You got him.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so Belfast coffee is made with cold brew coffee, which we make in house, and poaching. It was created by a guy called Dave Mulligan from Bar 1661 in Dublin, which is Ireland's sort of top cocktail bar. So this was he has his own poaching. It's his own poaching, Bond poaching, and he tried to come up with the idea of how do you make poaching work. So he's basically done an Irish coffee, but ice cold with poaching.
Yeah, it's.
So that's your Irish, that's your hot,
so
and this is your ice cold.
Yeah, it's unnerving, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, that is delicious.
They're really good. They're just so rich. And ice cold as well. They're
beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
That's brilliant.
Makes the cream thinner. The cold in this makes the cream thicker as you're drinking it. So when you get to the end of drinking this, you have this lovely big lump of cream which you get in the last gulp at the end of it.
Yes.
You've got it.
That place was amazing. This is going to be a very, very fun day because at pub number 2, we're having Irish coffees, Belfast coffees and Guinness. And already that is going to my head. I'd never heard of a Belfast coffee before. And it was so delicious. It was like an espresso martini, but with like an extra sprinkling of sweetness in there. And the way that kind of cream just stuck to the glass at the end was incredible. Well, we're going to head to our next pub. So we are going to come to one of the most requested pubs on the visit in Belfast, which is the famous Bittles Bar. It looks like the Flatiron building. The landlord, John, is supposed to be a bit of a legend, so we're going to sit down with him and have a fun time. I suppose the main thing that went viral about this was that he famously stopped serving half pints of Guinness. And I think if you order a Coke, he'll tell you that they don't do cocktails and he kicks you out. I'm really looking forward to meeting him. We're going to roll that video next as we kind of head our way up here. It's just on the corner. Caden, if you follow me, look, we're just going to head up this way. Up by the Guinness sign is the pub we're going to. Then we're going to actually take a bit of a left. Again, remember, we're researching the book here. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going to change. But we're going to mooch our way up. And instead of actually going to that famous clock, which you can see there, we're going to take a left, hit another couple of pubs which we've been recommended, and then we'll scoot back out and we'll come to where this famous clock is before we start heading our way into the iconic Cathedral Quarter, where there are some more spectacular pubs to look forward to. But for now, let's go. Next pub.
This Belfast pub is one of my best ever.
The Bittles Bar. It's pub number 3 on our Belfast route. Let's go and get a pint.
There are few pubs that are as instantly recognisable as one of the most recommended ones in Belfast, and it resembles a mini version of New York's Flatiron Building. And it was originally opened as a Victorian gin palace, but today is celebrated for its vibrant art-filled interior and eclectic atmosphere, where the walls are adorned with portraits of Irish literary figures, political icons and sporting legends. And it doesn't come much more legendary than the owner, John, who famously doesn't serve Coca-Cola or half pints from behind this tiny bar. Of course, how was I going to turn down a pint of Guinness when this is known to be one of the city's best, which John was proud to shout about as he showed off the impressive volume of kegs out on the street. Now, it's hard to believe during the Troubles there were attempts to burn down this pub after it served officers from the opposite police station. These days, it's one of the cosiest, friendliest vibes around and makes it one of the very best I've been to. But we can't be stopping when we've got to crawl.
You're the boss. Tell us who you are. Tell us about this wonderful, wonderful pub.
Yes, my name is John Bittles. This is Bittles Bar. I've been here from 1990, which is getting to 35 years. Give or take the odd blip, it's worked every day. We're like a city centre traditional pub. There's no food, no sport, no music. It all works okay.
No half pints.
No half pints. No Coke drinkers either.
Yeah, no cocktails.
No cocktails, no coffee drinkers. I always joke, you do get people coming in for a coffee. I just say, the man next door has a wife and kids and a mortgage, and I wouldn't like it if he sold pints of Guinness, so I'm not selling coffees.
That's very reasonable.
But it all works, to be honest with you, and sort of from after the pandemic, it's been busy. For some reason, the Guinness thing, like, we always had good Guinness sales in here. Guinness always sold more than anything, always for 35 years, but just this last lot of years from after the pandemic, it's just at another level. You're talking hundreds and hundreds every day. You're talking like St. Patrick's Day, 1,200. You're talking about, 40 odd empty kegs sitting outside.
Yeah, that looked crazy. That photo, the photo I saw earlier was like 50 kegs outside.
I do that there. I just see it over there, Chance.
Oh, it is coming in.
Yes, here.
Okay, here.
So this man actually here is the only man in the bar that gets a half pint of Guinness.
Oh, right.
And I've worked out the theory. If you're over 90 and you're coming in here, you can get a half pint.
Oh, brilliant.
So
that's fair enough. That sounds entirely reasonable.
he gets a half pint.
He gets a half pint.
Other people look at a half pint if they have a valid medical note from their doctor to say they can't drink pints.
Right,
they can get a half pint.
Yeah.
But so far, nobody's produced one.
No. I saw a sign in a pub yesterday in Derry, which was 3 pints for anyone over 80 who turns up with both of their parents.
That's it. That's it. It's not going to be too many. That's going to. But no, like I'm here. Like I'm not here all day, every day, but I'd be here 7 days a week. Like, and to be honest with you, and I'm not asking anybody else to do it all. I'll be here myself every day, and like in the course of the 35 years I'm here, I've never took a week off. I've never took a week's holidays. I used to take a few days off here and there, but I've stopped that there.
I wish you would get out of the
The customers, they'll be glad to see the back of me. And sometimes on the busy days, the staff be glad to see the back of me as well. But no, like it's all good, and like it's all like it's a small place. You have to be on your game all the time. You have to be a good old standard. And you have to look after the place and look after the beer. There's a man coming in there 30 odd years. He fell off his push bike. He ended up in a wheelchair. That man makes a 50-mile round trip. He was cycling. He fell off his push bike, and that's how.
Still comes here.
And Eddie, do you want to come into the company here? No, here he's all right. He's all right there. He's all right there. Eddie, where is it you're from? Yorkshire, is it you're from?
Harrogate.
Harrogate.
Arrogant.
Harrogate.
Ah.
Okay, from Harrogate and here having a pint.
Ah.
Harrogate, you're almost posh. If you're from Harrogate, if you're on Harrogate and you say Harrogate, you're the rich Harrogate-onians.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm Harrogate. I'm the
Harrogate.
working class one.
Okay, this is good though. This is an accent I can actually understand because yesterday in Derry, I almost couldn't understand anything anyone said to me. The
No,
entire
if you're
time.
in Derry,
You're
people are.
from the south somewhere.
Yeah, from London.
Oh, fuck.
But Eddie, what many miles is a 50-mile round trip? Eddie makes a 50-mile round trip to get here.
This is my favourite pub.
Ah, that's
I've been
it.
coming here since '96.
Well, I mean, this was one of the most recommended pubs when I said I was coming to Belfast.
Yeah.
People said, you've got to come here. It was the one I was most nervous about getting let into because I didn't know.
No,
Oh,
Eddie, couple of things. I had to look at a photo of him to say, hope I don't throw this guy out. But he was already came early. The bar was open. He was first in. I was on the proper level. He was on the proper level. Everything was all good. Everything was all good.
Well, we got
Sláinte, Terence.
Right, we got a bunch of pubs we got to go to. We got
Yeah.
another 11 to go to.
Well, hope you have a good. Are you going to be drinking in all the pubs?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes, we're going to try and see what we can do.
Oh,
yeah.
you've a lot of drinking to do then.
There's a lot of drinking to do, but thankfully a lot of walking.
A lot of walking. Make sure Eddie's in there. That's it. That's it. Sláinte there. Eddie, you're not supposed to be putting up pints of Peroni. Give that one a Guinness there, Patrick. You can't be drinking that.
About pubs.
I would say this
Yeah.
is the best pub in the
Why
office.
are you in here? Are you not writing about this one?
Yeah, I am right. Yes,
He
this.
said no.
this-
He says too dodgy.
You
Too
should be
dodgy.
out. You should be out looking at the other
He
pub.
says the clientele in here leaves a lot to be desired.
What's your name?
Really nice to
Oh,
meet
bless
you. Yeah, good. Okay, sorry, I got so carried away telling Caden a story about when we had an horrific time in Limerick with someone who was too busy seeing the mayor to see us, even though the pub afterwards cancelled their meeting with the mayor to see us, that we completely forgot to talk about any of the history in the area whatsoever. Although this probably isn't the most interesting part. It's just like a big pedestrianised shopping area. Nothing fancy about it. But what is going to be interesting is the next pub that we're going to take you to. It's down a tiny alley. It's easy to miss. That's coming up in the next video.
Don't miss out on this hidden Belfast gem.
It's the Morning Star. It's pub number 4 on our Belfast route. And that chap just whispered in my ear that this was a very good choice. So let's go and see what it's like.
And it was certainly a surprise to find one of the city's oldest and most historic pubs tucked down this tiny alleyway behind the shops. And this vast pub with a large horseshoe bar at the heart of it was established in 1810 as a coaching inn. These days the space is filled with plenty of seating and it's renowned as the best place for locals to come and get a bit of pub grub, as they've usually got a warm buffet on the go. But back to the bar, and whilst of course I went for a pint of Guinness, they were keen to show off something local from the nearby Bullhouse Brew Co, which was established in 2016. Now there might be plenty more to explore, like the upstairs restaurant or the beer garden to the side, which feels bizarrely secluded from the bustle of the city. We've no time for that, we've got pubs to go to, so it was off to the next one.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, no, thank you for having us.
Welcome to Belfast, I suppose.
It
And
was hard enough to find down a little alleyway.
yeah, but that's the beauty. I think the beauty of these old pubs, especially in we call them the entries. It's little alleyways, but it's part of the charm. It's the old Belfast. You know, this pub dates back to 1730s, so this is the parts of the town that weren't affected by the Blitz development, stuff like that. So it's where you find all the little hidden charms. And the Morning Star's been here a long time, so we're very lucky to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. Like we were saying as we were kind of walking down, like that kind of pedestrian area just looks like a generic kind of, could be anywhere in the world, shopping centre.
Yeah.
And then you just spot like the little sign and the little alley, and then you walk down, you've got the sign for the Morning Star on the side of the wall as you walk down the alley. And then it opens up into this lovely pub. It's a huge pub. So you said this is a family pub. It's a
Family pub, yeah. We're the My name is McAllister. My surname is McAllister. We're farmers historically and publicans, so we're probably hand in hand. We're farming in the day and in the pubs at night. So we're second generation here, but we go back 5-6 generations in pubs we can trace anyway. And before that, we're probably illegally distilling alcohol somewhere up the glens of Antrim. So
we're not committing that to camera.
yeah. We don't know about that.
Allegedly.
yeah. It's generations ago. Don't worry about it. But no, like we've been here 40 years. Mum and Dad took it over from Hugh Boylan. He had it prior to us. There's another 2 owners of the pub, families before that. So yeah, we're custodians. We know this pub is going to outlast us. We just want to do it justice and do a really good job while we're here, because hopefully my kids have it one day, or whoever takes it on. It's going to be a focal point of Belfast for generations. So we're just trying to do the right thing by it. But it's a great old pub. You get a mixture of people. You get brickies, you get barristers. It's a real meeting point for everyone whenever we come to town, and tourists alike as well.
Yeah, it's a lovely big bar, and you've got dining room upstairs, and we can smell this. There's like a carvery here as well. We can smell all of that. Eating's cheating. I do encourage responsible drinking. We've got something special though. This is the Bullhouse. Right?
This is Bullhouse, yeah. So this is their Big Fish Nitro Stout. Mm-hmm. So stouts, as you know, are they've always been on trend in pubs like this. But you see a real demand, increase in demand recently. We have Beamish on draft, which is from Cork.
Mm-hmm. I was in Cork a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, good pubs down there, good pints, great people, great nights out there. But yeah, we have a local stout there. We rotate taps different times of the year, but I thought we had to have this on draft whenever someone's come to Belfast.
So this is local then?
This is local, yeah. The guys.
This is brewed in Belfast.
Yeah.
We've got that sign on here.
Yeah, brewed in Belfast. They have their own brewery bar in town as well, but we'd probably be one of the only places in town with this on draft. And great product, sessionable again. But yeah, just real nice, tasty stout, and something you can kind of get behind and shout about, because the guys are great. They do great beers. They win plenty of awards for their beers as well. So we want to support local producers as much as we can. And if the product's good, why not shout about it?
It's good.
It is good. Yeah, it is good. I've got a little sample of it as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I thought I'm working today, but yeah, I have to pick the kids up. Later.
Cheers. Brilliant.
Cheers to have you.
Got behind us the Albert Memorial Clock, which we mentioned earlier. And of course, being called the Albert Memorial Clock, it is a memorial to Prince Albert. Now, this was put up sometime between 1865, 1869. It's 113 feet tall. I don't know if this is coming across on the camera as well as it is in my eyes, but, and it's definitely not because we're 4 pints in, by the way, it's got a slight tilt due to subsidence, and it's got the nickname of Belfast's Leaning Tower. What do you reckon, Caden? That definitely looks like that's on the piss, doesn't it? No? I think that it is leaning. It's leaning to the right, ever so slightly. It's leaning to the right. Okay, well, we have now seen the Morning Star, which is one of the oldest, most historic. It was founded in 1810. They were really, really good company for us, and we're going to figure out where we're going next. This is the beauty of this. Normally, I'm following the routes that you can find in my book, so I've got, I've already walked these routes and I've got these directions. I don't know quite where we're going to next. Well, I know which pub we're going to. We're going to the White Tavern, which is the oldest in the city and dates back to 1630. I just don't know quite how to get there. And Caden's holding the phone, which is going to be where we're going to use the Google Maps to try and work out where we're going. But let's figure it out. We'll see you there at the next pub.
Okay, this is the oldest pub in Belfast.
It's White's Tavern. It's pub number 5 on our Belfast route. Let's go.
Another hidden Belfast pub. This claims to be the oldest tavern in the city, dating back to 1630. And it is located down one of the many narrow alleyways that serviced the dense residential and commercial developments of the town when it was first laid out. With much of them closed off during the Troubles, they were typically called called Entries. But back to the bar, and it was always going to be another pint of Guinness before sitting down with Sophie besides the roaring fire to hear more about this wonderful pub, which has often been used as the setting for several TV shows and films in the area. Now, like a lot of these pubs, not only is there the original bar room with the wood beams and low ceilings, but it's also attached to alternative venues, like this modern yard with its copper bar underneath a modern skylight and foliage. There's a separate converted shop which only serves pints of plain or cocktails made out of the black stuff. Add this to your list of pubs not to miss.
Got lovely Sophie with us.
Hello.
And we are, I was going to say the oldest pub in Belfast, but it's not, you don't claim to be the oldest pub.
Oldest tavern, so this building dates back to 1630, which is brilliant, and not a lot of buildings, you know, still stand in this order and are able to say that, so yeah, we're quite proud of that.
Yeah, like a 400-year-old building, it feels like that.
Yeah.
A beautiful old fire that is melting my face right now. Lovely low counter, low ceilings, beams. This is really nice. But this looks like a film set. There must have been some things that have been filmed here.
There's been a couple of things. I mean, we've definitely had people in to do different scenes for kind of like local shows or whatever. I mean, we are quite proud. We've had people from America come over. We've even had the Clintons come over and sit and have a drink in this very place. Yes. Bill Clinton did have a pint here, so we can always say we've got good relationships still with the Americans.
Bill Clinton likes a few good relationships as well. Wink, wink. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like anything else that you think that is really
Yeah,
interesting?
I mean, I think we've just tried to really keep it what it is. I feel like it's been, this building especially has had so much history. I mean, we've lived through the Troubles, we've lived through World Wars. I haven't personally, but I mean, this building itself. So I think to kind of like keep that pride and heritage, and we try to really tap in with Irish culture here, something that it's kind of like struggled to go through, especially with what's happened, you know, with the Troubles and etc. So it's good to just really keep that originality, keep the feel, and we have a lot of tourists come through Belfast, and this is kind of usually a point for them to be like, right, what has Belfast got to offer? What's its history? And places like this, you know, is the best place to come, you know, really familiarize yourself with the culture, and that's what we try to keep, you know, so that when you come here, you're like, okay, I understand what Ireland is, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your hospitality.
No worries, Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Yeah.
So this used to be the oyster bar, so we used to be
Yeah.
able to get some oysters in here.
Yeah. So it was historically named to the fact with its ties within sort of like the fishing ports and everything through Belfast, and a lot of like fishing, like fishery stuff would have happened up here. What's really interesting is that this is situated on wine cellar entry, so there's kind of a bit of a courtyard here, and there's like several kind of entry points that come into it. So during the Troubles, obviously there was a civil war going on, so there was a big army presence and a lot of security. So at each of these entryways, it would have been security checkpoints to then move into the city.
So just to come down the little alleyway that we walk down just to get to the pub, and then like at the other side.
So
What, like gates? So there'd have been like big gates, or there'd have just been like
so it would have been gates. It would have been manned by the British Army, and all kind of and all entry points into the inner city. This was all gated. You had to, you know, state why you were coming into the city centre, give your ID, what time you were thinking you were going to stay to, and that would have been, you know, if you can envision that outside, that's how that would.
So I'm going to the pub. I'll be as long as I'm going to be.
Yeah, don't tell the wife. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's super interesting, you know,
Yeah.
whenever you just, you know, walk down outside, you know, you just think of it as an alleyway, but it's not. It's got so much more history than that.
Yeah, excellent. So we leave one of the oldest buildings in Belfast, and here we are in the Cathedral Quarter. Hopefully Caden's not going to get murdered by that van. No, I think he'll be fine. They're not coming. Now this area is named after St Anne's Cathedral, which sits right in the heart. I think we're actually going to walk past that in a bit. And it's hard to believe, looking at some of these, well, certainly some of the more ornate buildings that we've seen around here, that this was actually quite a large area for like warehousing and trade. And these days it is cobbled streets, little bars, lively bars, and 3 are probably the best ones that we've been told to come and see whilst we're here. We actually have just left White Tavern, which is one of the oldest buildings, and we're going to go to the Dirty Onion, which is supposed to be an even older building. This seems like a never-ending competition as to which buildings survived being blitzed. But we're going to have a look. I popped in there on Sunday when I first turned up to Belfast. It's got a lovely big garden, looks really interesting. Let's go in there, let's go and check it out.
When your hotel's next to this place, you might as well stay out dancing.
It's the Dirty Onion. It's pub number 6 on our Belfast route. Let's go and get a pint.
Well, we're here to see the places, not the people. And one of Belfast's most popular pubs was pretty quiet when we popped in during the middle of the day. And it was a good chance to get a look at this building that dates back to 1680 and is mostly a jumbled mishmash of exposed brick, timber beams, or steel girders in this spacious open-air beer garden. Back to the bar. And I went for the Pencil Pusher Session IPA before we headed up at the halfway point to grab a chicken spice bag upstairs. Now I have to give a special thank you to the folks at Foundry who put us up for the night in their classy hotel. And it's the best place to stop in the city because we'd got there too late for dinner and instead went out dancing. Add this to your list of pubs not to miss.
Garrick, White Tavern, Morningstar.
Nice.
So it's some good ones, right? It should be pretty good ones.
Sober considering 6 pubs
Yeah,
in.
we're hanging in there.
Don't come back above 12.
Yeah, soon all heroes wear capes. That's the way it goes. Now, this is obviously very different from when I popped in here on Sunday night because like the weekends, this place is popping. Like it's completely full. We like to show the places, not the people. So we always come when it's a little bit quieter, so we can enjoy a pint. We can speak to the team. We can find out a little bit more. So please, tell us who you are. Tell us about this wonderful pub, which is in one of the oldest buildings in the whole of Belfast.
Yep. So I'm Bethany. I'm the assistant manager here in the Dirty Onion. So we are a kind of complex here. So the Dirty Onion, we also have a restaurant, Yardbird, and we have Second Fiddle, which is an Irish traditional bar. This is kind of the heart of it here in the Dirty Onion. So the building was opened in 1680. And it is, so a lot of bars will say that they're the oldest pub, they're the oldest frame, whatever. So we're the oldest wood timber building.
Okay, like super specific now.
Yeah, so all these pillars and things are all,
okay.
They're all still kind of standing. So we've got a sort of vast range of history here. So we were a Jameson storehouse at times. We actually have all our history up here. So we were tea merchants, we were storehouses for different bits and bobs. And then we opened 10 years ago, nearly 11 in November, as the Dirty Onion. We were much smaller before that, so we were just a little bit of a courtyard.
Okay.
And then we have expanded into what you see now. So we didn't have any booths or any tables or anything.
So we've got booths, we've got tables, we've got an outside bar here, we've got the indoor bar.
Yeah, so quite a big venue. As you said, on Sundays, the weekend specifically, it's extremely busy. We've got trad on, we've got live singers. That's kind of our main selling point here is live music 7 days a week.
Yeah, I saw there was a band on the stage when I popped in on Sunday.
Yeah,
so what time do they normally come on?
So during the week from about 7 o'clock. If the sun's shining, you might get lucky about 5 o'clock. Again, this is what we call sun, so maybe not.
It's Ireland. It's Ireland. Like Ireland has 4 seasons in a day. That's the way it works. Like we know that's the way it works. It was lovely and sunny when we started earlier. It'll be sunny later when we finish.
That's it. Fingers crossed. No rain today. And then during the weekend, we have music from 1 o'clock. So just depending on what day you catch us, we always have music on. We're open until 1 every night, so we have music from 1 until 1.
Right, and it's perfect stumbling distance because we're actually staying at the Foundry over the road.
It's
just
unreal.
so
Very good.
Foundry have put us up for a couple of nights, which is just perfect because
Very good.
we can end the night here and then just stumble straight into the hotel.
Across and then watch us cleaning up.
I could write.
My window is right.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, my window's literally overlooking this place. I tell you what, if I go back to my hotel and I still have enough energy to look out the window and watch you clean up, then it will not have been as good a night as I thought it was going to be. Right? That's not how I'm planning the night to end. Oh well, thank you so much. This is brilliant. It's a lovely place. We're going to go and probably head upstairs and go get ourselves some chicken. Then I reckon that's going to be the plan.
Enjoy.
Cheers. Thank you. Well, we are halfway through the crawl now. We have just smashed ourselves some chicken and a spice bag. at Yardbird above Dirty Onion, which is pub number 6. And we are actually right back to where we started this morning, because over the road from us is the Foundry, who very kindly have put Caden and I up. They've given us a couple of hotel rooms for the night, and we've got some dinner to look forward to later on, which is really, really kind of them. We are right in the heart of Cathedral Quarter, so it's a fantastic place to stay and to get out and explore. You know, I'm feeling quite comfy. I'm feeling quite sleepy after having all of that chicken, but we can't be stopping when we've got to crawl. Let's go to the next pub. Yeah, we've got to look at this for the first time together, because this is the most Instagrammable street in Belfast. It's one that everyone told me to come and see, and wow, look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? We're actually going to go for a pint here, and then we're going to come back to the Duke of York, which was the pub where the Snow Patrol played their first ever gig. That looks pretty cute though, right? Let's go and get a beer.
This is the best place for date night in Belfast.
It's the Harp. It's pub number 7 on our Belfast route. Let's go and get a pint.
Well, I was exploring this route before writing it, and as they opened late on a Tuesday, we retraced our steps from pub number 8, which is owned by the same folks who kindly topped up my pint of Smithwick's. Now, this opulent bar is a feast for the senses, with its smooth leather, red velvet, dark wood, antique mirrors, and glazed tiling. It was once home to the original Harp lager offices, but these days, if you're there of an evening, the place is packed to the sounds of live music, and if you're lucky, you'll get to pop upstairs to this impressive bar and a view over the famous street. Next time you're near, stop here for a beer.
We need to shoot an intro for this, so let's not forget.
So my name is Peter McNichol. I've worked here at the Harp Bar as a part-time barman since probably not too long, probably just over a year and a half. Love working here, great staff, great colleagues to work with, and great management. And our owner, Wally Jack, puts, as you see, it's an absolutely beautiful bar to work in. It's nearly more of an entertainment music venue, because there's live music. There's maybe 25 acts a week.
Really?
That they play here.
Wow, okay.
Willie and Ronan would put on music 7 days a week. Now, you know, it used to always be 7 days a week they would have had it, but unfortunately after COVID, I went to close on Mondays, and then Willie Jack said, no, we're going for it. So we've back out live music every night of the week. People can come down here. The Harp Bar opened up in 2013. This place here actually was an extension of the Harp Bar due to the popularity. It opened up in 2015. In 2013, the first live act to play in here was Van Morrison, and that was on New Year's Eve.
That's going in pretty hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you're literally going like the first person we're having playing is Van Morrison.
Yeah, and you know, and that just sort of we've got some brilliant artists in here. Recommend people to come down and see. As you can see from the decor, Willie spares no cost on it. Everything here has a reason. Where we're sitting right now, this is Victorian seating, and the idea of it is it's sociable seating. So you're coming in here with your partner and you're sitting chatting. Mm-hmm. You're not in a little booth. You know, you look to your right, you have people to talk to, and you look to your left, you have more people to talk to, and you find lots of people be chatting and mingling here at the Harp in this area here. So here's more where you come for a bit of a chat, enjoy the sociables, and then anyone who's been here on even a Wednesday through to a Sunday, if you go into the music part of the venue, it's absolutely bedlam. Like, it's
what we're saying is
atmosphere.
this is a great place for a date night.
This area might be a good place for a date night, but you go into the music, where the live music is, it would be hard to even hear your date. The music's loud, it's brilliant, it's fun.
Sounds like an ideal date, one does.
The crack's 90 in the air, you know, the drink's flowing, it's an absolutely brilliant bar. And as I think maybe on a Saturday night we maybe 40 people working here. Okay. And that's sort of part of the thing we have here is that you'll not be waiting late. Even though the place is packed, it's rammed, you're not waiting long for a drink. We're always trying to make sure people are served quickly and can go about having a great night.
It's gorgeous looking, isn't it?
Yeah, it was inspired by the Harp Bar in Belfast, just down the road there. Mm-hmm. I think where you guys are staying. It was inspired by there. It was a punk bar back in before the Troubles or during the Troubles. And the legend has it is that it was the one place where they would bring a stripper on a Sunday. It's the only place you could see a stripper on a Sunday in Belfast. So you'd have all types of the community would be enjoying the entertainment then.
Pound and a pint. There you go.
Yeah, and if you look around here, there's a little bit of a hat tip to it with all the red ceilings, things like that there. So
yeah, and if you get a chance to come here and you touch the wallpaper, it is. Yeah, it's got it's so velvety. It's gorgeous.
And it's like, as I say, like we have Willie would have people coming in and cleaning all the fantastic seating and that there. It's maybe twice a month you're getting deep clean, so it's keeping that freshness about the place. And we are it's relatively new compared to the Duke of York. It's 2013, but everything in here, all the mirrors you see there, all the memorabilia, it's all collected over the years, and it's all authentic from some of the oldest bars around. Like upstairs in the Orpheus and the Swinging Ditty, the bar we have there is, I think it's over 100 years old.
The Swinging Ditty?
The Swinging Ditty, yeah.
Swinging Ditty.
The Swinging Ditty. It's the bar there's actually, it was about to get thrown out of the Guinness storehouse, and Guinness, the Belfast Guinness rep, seen them pulling this out of the Guinness factory, and he says, "Hold on, we've a bar up in Belfast that I think would love this here," and Wally took it, and that's it there. So yeah, it's upstairs. We actually have the Orpheus as well, Orpheus and the Swinging Ditty. It would be great for a date night. Go up there. It's a lot more quieter, a lot more regal, a lot more. The music's more acoustic, and you're looking over the lovely lights of Cathedral Court there as well. So highly recommend anyone come down to it.
Oh, lovely. Well, we're about to head a little bit deeper into Cathedral Quarter, and then we're going to wind our way around until we get to end up near Kelly Cellars and Maddens.
Brilliant. They're all brilliant spots. I tell customers here that this area here, and you can include Maddens and Kelly's, etc., in there too as well, and on around the Garrick and Bittles, it's hard to beat. It would do as good a Guinness as anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
That was so good.
Enjoy the pints.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Cheers.
You're behind me at the moment now. I'm 8 in. And of course, yeah, exactly. That's the way it goes. Normally what happens when we follow these routes is we are like 1 to 12, we follow the whole route round. But, we always like to film on a Monday or Tuesday when typically things are quiet, so opening times can be a little bit janky, try and work our way around that. So it's just the reality that maybe whatever the finished article of this video is going to look a little bit kind of mishmash between which order we did the pubs in, because you know what, we're just filming to make sure we get them all in.
It's the most famous pub in Belfast.
It's the Duke of York. It's pub number 8 on our Belfast route. Let's go and get a pint.
It's almost impossible to walk down this picturesque street without getting caught in a picture, because it's the most Instagrammable in the city. And the inside isn't much different, because it's gloriously filled with vintage mirrors, old memorabilia, and Belfast-related artefacts that share the tales of the city's past. And it's a loving tribute, as it was carefully rebuilt after a bomb destroyed it during the Troubles. But back to the bar, and I grabbed myself a pint of the Smithwick before being encouraged to add a cheeky drop of their own whiskey to the mix. So it was no surprise that I couldn't talk my way into the tiny snug to sit under these albums that pay tribute to local Stadium Rockers Snow Patrol, who played their first ever gig in this pub. And there was just so much to see, because upstairs, surrounded by the opulent velvet wallpaper, there's the chance to become famous on stage. Now, when the weather's nice, you can hardly move down this cobbled street, so it's lucky there's a large courtyard filled with political murals that acts as a suitable overspill for punters. And just when we thought we'd finished, these guys gave us a tour of their whiskey room opposite, where this pub crawl really started to go off the rails. But we can't be stopping when we've got to crawl.
One of the things that we see as we walk through Belfast is murals everywhere. It is, I love this. I hate meaningless graffiti. I love the fact that you've got gorgeous, wherever there's a space, there's something somewhere. And we've even got someone here doing a mural, actually doing something as we speak. So we're going to come and have a look and see what's actually going. Can I come and have a look? This is amazing. So when did you start? Spraying this and putting this up on the wall? And is it just for this event?
Yeah.
And then it will be covered up after that?
No, it will be staying. It's like a Belfast thing and a mural. So if you know.
We were admiring the murals over here. We were admiring this. Was that your one? Okay. Yeah. And the faces is always like the faces is the hard bit. Yes, that's that will be the hard bit. Oh, dude, it looks amazing. Yeah, it's really good. We're just popping for a pint next door at the John Hewitt. Yeah, take care, man.
Let's visit the Belfast pub that's changed people's lives.
It's the John Hewitt. It's pub number 9 on our Belfast route. Let's get a beer.
Well, it would be easy to dismiss what looks like an otherwise unremarkable pub just around the corner from Writers' Square, but taking its name in honour of the late poet and socialist who lived here. This venue was established in December 1999 by the Belfast Unemployed Resource Centre to become Northern Ireland's first social enterprise pub, and with a spacious layout and a warm welcoming fire. If it's too cold to sit in its impressive beer garden, there's plenty of reasons to stop by. But that's not why we're here. We're here for beer, and as it's now been taken over by Boundaries Co-operative Brewery, who are known for hop forward and sour beers, they were kind enough to pour a couple of their IPAs. And whilst I'm still going, today's assistant Caden broke the seal for the day before I found a quick chance to say cheers to a couple of lovely folks that recognised me. Remember, kids, not all heroes wear capes.
Now, what are we, 9 pubs into discovering Belfast?
Right.
You were one of the pubs that we were recommended to come and visit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Marty, tell us about this amazing pub.
Well, it started back in '99, and it was opened by the Irish poet that would be John Hewitt. He opened the Belfast Unemployment Centre. I think it was a few years before that, and then they were trying to find out ways of how to make money for the unemployment centre and make funds available. So they thought of why not opening a bar, and then named it after him. So that's how this started, and then slowly but surely the unemployment centre got busier, and it's still going to this day. They have a mural out behind us there with James Larkin, who was a big thing for workers' rights and stuff, so that's all out the back now. And then recently we've been took over by the local brewery, and they would lease the building off the John Hewitt, so the unemployment centre is still getting benefits.
And is this the brewery that's taken it over now?
Yes, it's Boundary Brewing here, yeah.
Boundary, so is that a local brewery?
Yes, they're based over in East Belfast in a big unused mill from years ago. It's called Portview. And these would be 2 of our core drinks. This would be in Bongo, which would be our tropical IPA. And this is Camper, which is our West Coast Saxon IPA. It's about a half an hour walk or a 10-minute bus journey from the city centre.
Okay.
Which you
And what's the most popular in here?
It would probably be the Mbongo, or the little lesser one, which would be Palos. And then we just alternate beers, and we make that many different styles of beers. We've got our own Stout, which is called Artie, of our own lager, which is seamless. Mm-hmm. And then we do all different types and styles of lagers throughout the year and stuff. So it's been really, really busy and picked up.
Okay, that's great news. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, we're not going to sip these right now because the big man behind the camera is going to get at least one of these pints. He hasn't decided which one yet. Yeah. But yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much. Really nice to meet you, Martin.
Yes, no problem. Same to you.
So we are 9 pubs down. It's been an experience so far in Belfast. We are currently in Writers' Square, and I'm going to come to that in a minute. But right behind us is St Anne's Cathedral, which was constructed in 1899. It's actually got the Spire of Hope, which is a modern steel spire, but I don't think we can see it from this angle right now. So we will save that for you to experience it yourself when you buy the book and you come out here and you walk up the road and you can see it. But we are in Writers' Square. Writers' Square is a big open plaza, as you can see, which celebrates and should feature some quotes, I think on some of these boards over here, from the region's most celebrated writers. We will have C.S. Lewis, from Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Seamus Heaney and Samuel Beckett. And I want to talk to you quickly about writers, because as someone who left school at 17, it's quite incredible that I'm standing here in front of you today in Belfast researching, writing another book. And another book because I've already written 4 books. In the summer of 2023, the company I was running folded under the difficult economic climate, and I could have spent that summer thinking, how am I going to find another job, and wallowing in the depression and the misery of what happened during that time. But instead, I decided to have a little bit of fun, write a pub crawl route for my friends and my family to celebrate my birthday at the start of September, which I've done every year for 20 years. And I thought as I was doing it, this is a lot of hard work. Wouldn't it be great if I can see if I've got some of the old routes? And I found a few, which is why, despite doing this for 20 years, my first book had 13 pub crawls through London. I self-published that on Amazon and very quickly got to the top of the bestseller charts. And that has led to Historic Pub Crawls Volume 2, a book around Manhattan in New York, which covers 120 amazing pubs across 10 routes in the city. And my first new book, depending on you see this, is my route of 11 routes around 9 cities in England. But of course, we're here today to celebrate and research Ireland. I can't believe I'm still doing this with you. I hope you've already bought the books. And most importantly, if you buy the books, get out, go to the pubs, get a pint, meet the people behind the bar, meet the regulars in there, and support our pub trade, because they definitely need your help right now. That's my sales pitch over. We're going to the pub.
This lively Belfast pub has a heartbreaking story.
It's the Sunflower. It's pub number 10 on our Belfast route. Let's go and get a pint.
Sadly, you did really see that. This legendary pub, with its sign about Ulster's suffering, is instantly recognisable by the 1980s security cave. That's a tragic reminder of the Troubles. And it's hard to believe conflict, unhappiness, anger and violence took place anywhere near what is now a vibrant pub filled with energy and laughter from a young crowd who enjoy the drinks and the award-winning pizza in this covered outdoor area. But back to the bar, and it was a first for the day as they kindly poured me a Beamish. And as the sun started to set, the lights came on and it was time for the next pub, because the route never ends when you're drinking with friends.
We're like right in the thick of it now, because this is pub number 10 of our pub crawl today.
Yeah.
And it's totally recommended. Even Caden behind the camera says that this was the best pub that he came to.
It's the best pub in Belfast, eh?
Best pub in Belfast, right? So tell us who you are. Tell us a little bit about the pub.
My name's Ricky. I'm one of the owners of the Sunflower. We've been in business since 2012 under the previous owner, and then he sold it to me and my business partner, who were managers here. Last year, yeah, we've been going 13 months now. And yeah, we just built up a dedicated fan base, I suppose you would call it, of like nice regulars. Everyone's welcome. We do a lot of events for lots of different communities, and yeah, it's just a great place to be.
Murals all around us, so I love this has been very new to me as an experience. Walking through Belfast, there's almost like a mural on every corner. Obviously, you've got a gorgeous one on the side of the pub.
Yeah.
There's several around here. You've got the famous saying as well on the side.
Yeah. So there's a street art festival every May called Hit the North, that we're actually sponsoring this year. And it's just a big street party out there, and all of them murals.
Kind of like mainly around this area that everyone congregates.
Yeah. So all the walls around here will get redone on the 4th of May, and it will be completely new street art everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy to think they're going to get redone, because they look pretty good right now.
Well, some of them will stay. It's like every 2 years, I think some of them get changed. Yeah. But it's a great day out. You should come over again.
I'm always looking for an excuse to come back. This place is absolutely popping. I've heard that the pizza's amazing. Yeah, this is really good. Thanks so much.
All right, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Well, Belfast. That was stylish. That is as stylish as you are going to get after 10 pints. We have cracked the capital and largest city of the northern part of Ireland, which is most famous as being the place where the Titanic was setting off. It has been an experience so far, and we've still got 2 amazing pubs to go. In fact, as much as I've been saying you recommended all of the pubs that we have so far, there are 2 standouts that you really wanted me to come and see in Belfast. And those 2 are the next 2. So we are now going to go to the first of those, our penultimate pub, the incredible Kelly's Cellars. Let's go and grab a pint in there.
Here it is, a Belfast icon. How it was always going to happen, this many pints in, that I forgot about the intro to Kelly's Cellars, which is pub number 11 on our Belfast route, and tucked away, bizarrely, by more modern shopping developments, is this pub from 1720 that's steeped in history and famous for its authentic character, low ceilings, and open fireplace that leaves an unpolished charm, marking back to 18th century Ireland. Though it was no surprise that the place was absolutely heaving, although they still had time to kindly pour me another pint of Guinness, before I took a seat out in the garden to admire its wonderful exterior and hear more about this pub, which played a pivotal role in the United Irishman Rebellion of 1798. Now, I'm not going to lie, because this Londoner was apprehensive visiting the location of the Troubles, which is still very recent history, but I couldn't have been made to feel more welcome by everyone I met on the route. And who cares where you're from when this is the destination?
Am I? Brilliant. Okay. Well, that was one of the oldest pubs in the city. Dates back to 1720. It was one of the most requested. It's absolutely steeped in history, and there was obviously, even though it is is it Tuesday or Monday? It's Monday, Tuesday. There was still a trad band playing at, not at, 7 o'clock at night. So it's pretty good. It played quite an important role in the Irishman Rebellion of 1798. I think they looked after us pretty well. I was quite happy with that. We are in the final knockings of this pub crawl, and we are about to go to our final pub, which is another really requested pub, Maddens. It's iconic. I was here a couple of days ago. I absolutely love the place. Hopefully the boss is going to be waiting for us to film with us. Let's go and see if, when we push our finger on the buzzer, if they let us in. It's one of these ways. I don't know.
Only real ones can get into this pub.
It's Maddens, it's pub number 12, and the final pub on our Belfast route. Let's go and get our final pint.
Okay, I'll admit I made the rookie error when I turned up to one of the city's most cherished traditional pubs, because the door's locked and you have to be buzzed in. So what is a sad relic from the times of the Troubles, which saw this pub suffer 3 car bomb attacks and several drive-by shootings, is now a source of merriment to the locals amused by my awkwardness. And despite the history, inside this dimly lit, low-ceilinged one-room pub was a mixture of date nights, tourists, locals, and if you're lucky, a fiddle or a drum will spark a traditional Irish music sing-along. But back to the bar, where it was time for the final Guinness of the day, which was well earned after I'd been convinced to walk around the pub to see if I could get caught on every one of their cameras. So thanks for the memories, and to the owner Brian, who stood in the cold and regaled me with the stories of this most magnificent pub. Add this to your list of pubs not to miss.
This is the Belfast Comedy Club. Are you a Belfast comic? Where are you from? And who are you?
Yeah, I'm just outside Belfast. I'm David Campbell.
David Campbell here. Okay, so outside Belfast. So you're up in a bit?
Hopefully. So the way they do it at this one is everyone puts their names in a bucket and they draw them out at random during the gig. So yeah, it's really good comedy scene in Belfast.
I just make jokes. Like I'll have something in mind and I go off the vibe.
Yeah, this was one of the most requested pubs of the entire Belfast trip. It is full of music, people, comedy. It's really, really lively. It's so lively, we've had to get the boss outside to stand in the alleyway outside it just to tell us, you know, a little bit about what makes this place one of the best places to come in Belfast.
It's also because the boss is pretty shy.
Ah, he's
Not
so,
too good on cameras.
no, he's perfectly fine.
Look, I don't claim to be anything about the best or anything like that. I would just like to give people a good time and make sure our pints are pulled right and make sure the good music and social media sort of tells people that it's the best. It's not. It's up to yourself. You have to come and taste it.
Yeah, it was definitely recommended. So a lot of people said come here. So how long have you run the place?
Going on for 17 and a half years.
Wow. Okay.
So it's been going for its first record is 1751.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only a small part of it.
And there's always something on, right? So we're on a Tuesday night.
Yes.
And there's some comedy going on
Comedy
upstairs.
comes on upstairs.
But you've got music
And
most
there'll
nights.
be people coming in to play music later on.
Okay.
People just like to come in and jam. It's a place where musicians are looked after and they feel home. They feel at home and they enjoy sitting and having a pint and playing a few tunes. Like, so it'd be someone different that would weigh in every night. And then generally when people come home from touring or being away gigging, they'll come here and they'll get a pint, they'll see their friends, and they'll play a few tunes. And I mean, most of it's impromptu and you won't know. Sometimes there's daytime sessions, sometimes there's not. It just depends on what's going on and what's happening in the city.
I think this was the pub that Ed Sheeran walked into to start playing.
Ed Sheeran booked a party, which is they rang me and booked it. He was doing a concert in Belfast,
Mm-hmm.
and they rang me and wanted to use upstairs for a private function for after his concert in Belfast. So
Of course you said no.
and
We don't book it out.
They were all pretty good guys. Like, it was a lot to do with the band Bugle, who was a trad band who was doing music with him on Galway Girl and a couple of other songs. And they still have a great friendship with him. He was recently playing with them in America on St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guest. He made a guest appearance on stage with him too. So they have a great relationship with him, and through that's how we got in contact with him too. So and it was a good night. Everyone enjoyed themselves. He enjoyed himself, and
what more can you ask for?
Nobody else knew about it until the next day.
Perfect. And it was a great pint of Guinness. This is a cracking pint of Guinness. We had a really great time. Thank you, Brian. That was really cool. Thank you so much for hosting us. It was really good. Well, we had a few sound issues, didn't we, when we went back to the Foundry where we were staying, and we decided after 12 pubs and 12 pints, why not go out and have some more? And here we are. We are back at the Sunflower in this incredible beer garden. We've got an amazing piece in front of us. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you already like, subscribe, follow, do all of that kind of stuff. Great, brilliant. The most important thing that you can possibly do is get out to your pub and support that. We are finishing the night with a pizza. It's one of the best pizzas in Belfast. We've got chicken, jalapenos, we've got garlic sauce. No one's going to get a snog tonight. That doesn't matter. And we've got a pint of Beamish. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you watch this and the Irish book is out, buy it. And you can also check out our London books, our New York book, books around England, and everything else that's happening. Thanks for the likes, follow, subscribe. I'm fed up of everyone pointing at me. I've had a really fantastic time. I'm about to go and eat a pizza. You going to join me? Let's go. Cheers. Oh, you're not going to still film this, are you? Wow, okay, right.
The pizza buying, they want to see it.
You want a cheese? You want a cheese pull? Okay. This is gonna be, look how hot it is. It's gonna be hot in the fucking sun. Delicious. Well, it's the morning after the pub crawl, and I think it's fair to say you can probably say Belfast completed it, mate. That was incredible, and like what a great place to stay. Foundry was right in the heart of it. My voice is almost completely gone. Got back at like 2 in the morning. We literally just stopped. We were here in the Dirty Onion. It was right over the road from where we were staying, which was like pub number, what was that, Ken? That was like 5 or 6 on the route, wasn't it? Yeah. So after we finished up at Maddens, we went back to Sunflower because that was really lively to go and get ourselves some pizza. And then back into the Duke of York to sit in the Snow Patrol snug. which was busy when we were there early in the day. Listened to some amazing musicians perform there. Even better when over the road in the Harp, the guy was insanely good, the guitarist. And then there was another band on, the Dirty Onion. So it was really hectic, really crazy, lots and lots of action. Everywhere was really busy, and that was just a Tuesday night. I mean, this place must be lit, like when it comes to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, thanks for having us, Belfast. I can definitely say that we have completed that. I've got a few hours to kill now before I go and sit on my plane and fall asleep on the way back to London. Can't wait to share all of these videos with everyone.